In today's video, I'm covering 8 of the best social medias that musicians should be using in 2020 and 2021. We're almost there. Even though streaming and distribution sites such as Spotify, Bandcamp, SoundCloud are on track to becoming social medias as well, this video is about the original social media platforms. The ultimate goal is to utilize each platform for different purpose and share specific content to each channel. However, being a one woman's or man's band means that it can be quite time consuming to test out many of these places as well as making music. That's why I pulled together the best parts of 8 different social media platforms so you can target where to focus your energy and start building up a presence to seek out new fans as well as satisfy the ones that are already following you. Also, I've highlighted some future trends that you should be keeping an eye on. Technology is changing and improving at an explosive rate right now, and it can be really hard to keep up. This is your guide to staying on top of these changes, so you can use these tools to the best of their functionality. For those of you joining me for the first time, my name is Rebecca Smart-Buchan, and I help musicians grow their audience and business online. Go ahead and hit subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell to get notified whenever I share a new lesson about music marketing. I launch about 1 video per week, and I promise not to disappoint you. Let's get started. With approximately 3.8 billion social media users around the world, representing 49% of the entire world population, it makes sense to be present on the various platforms out there. There are just 6 main social media platforms, scooping up over 1 billion of those total users, and 4 out of those 6 are owned by Facebook. You know now the importantness of investing your time to interact with your audience. The days of being the untouchable superstar who doesn't answer comments and DMs, they're over. Being accessible, relatable, and building a community around your brand is the only way to go. Many musicians don't break through nowadays because they're not engaging with their audience on several platforms. It's now seen as amateur to not have a strong community online, which translates into digital sales, better live shows turnout, and a multitude of other benefits. Investing time, energy, and even money into your online presence is key to success in today's digital-driven world. It's worth it. The smartest move you can make is to choose a platform where your fans are already hanging out. You wouldn't put on a show in the middle of nowhere because your fans aren't there. So you should apply the same tactic online. Just like a successful tour, you choose multiple places where your fans are. You don't just stick to one city. Again, the same applies to choosing multiple social media platforms in order to reach as many people as possible, but in a strategic way. Well, let's dig right into it. Here are 8 social medias musicians should be using in 2020 and 2021 and beyond. The first one up is YouTube. YouTube is by far one of the best platforms to present on as a musician. It's one of the biggest and best social medias for people to discover new music, and it has the best search engine of all the platforms to date. As YouTube is tied into Google's search engine, of course, it's going to be a super powerful contender on the search front. While YouTube in general hosts billions of videos covering almost every topic and genre possible, its YouTube music platform is similar to Spotify with playlists, new music and album releases, and so much more. YouTube has heavily invested in the YouTube Music service as well as the official artist channels over the past few years. With over 2 billion monthly active users and over 1 billion music streams on YouTube last month alone, it's not to be ignored by musicians looking to get their music in front of their target audience. Whenever my son goes to listen to a song, where do you think he goes? Spotify? Apple? No, it's always YouTube. This is how kids and young people of today prefer to listen to music. So if you're targeting music for the youth, you know where to go, as it's how the future wants to consume music. The great part about using YouTube to share your music is the fact that you can use visuals as well. Using anything from a pro or amateur music video to a live performance of your song, there's so many creative ways to communicate visually. When a listener watches your creation, where you can share more value with a visual element to your music, you connect with them on a much deeper level than only listening via a streaming service. If you have the technical know-how and/or the resources to create visuals, YouTube is the perfect platform for you to invest in. However, only sharing music on the YouTube channel isn't the best way to utilize it. You need to create a video series or a weekly vlog where you tackle on a particular subject or keep to a theme. The goal is to give somebody a reason to hit the subscribe button. Music alone just won't cut it. Experiment with different playlists, video series, vlogging in any format that you feel you can consistently share value through. Create something that people want to follow weekly or binge watch. Create an About You video for your featured video that sits on the top of your channel. It's the first thing that people see when they visit your profile. So you want to give them a taste of what your channel is all about. Another great part of YouTube is the option of live streaming to your audience, as well as sharing exclusive content through the channel membership option. And not only that, YouTube are now testing out their own version of TikTok and Instagram Reels, where users can share short video clips dubbed by viral audio, music. This is clearly a format of communication that's here to stay for the long haul. YouTube's monetization capabilities is also one of the main reasons why musicians choose to use this platform. I mean, think about how many YouTube millionaires there are right now. With the introduction of the channel membership, alongside ad revenue on videos, they're making it easier than ever for content creators to make money. Next social media is Instagram. I'm starting with a quote. What many people don't understand in this amateur economy, in the bubbling up economy, Instagram is where you get noticed. People think it's YouTube, but much less so these days. Bob Lefsetz. If you're not following his newsletter, follow it. Every musician should follow that newsletter. As of July 2020, Instagram has a total of 1 billion monthly active users. That's a lot of thumb scrolling at any given time. Why wouldn't you want to be active there, right? When it comes to starting up as a musician and tackling the social media world, Instagram is the easiest channel due to the requirements of sharing value through content being very low in comparison with YouTube. Images and videos doesn't have to be professionally edited in order to share value on Instagram. Plus, you can share photos as well. Also, YouTube requires pretty long, super engaging videos in order to gain traction and get good viewing numbers. Many of my musician students have used Instagram as a testing ground for trying out content ideas. Once they begin to grasp the process, they then move over to tackle YouTube. Once they've gotten a better idea what their audience enjoys. Instagram is also heavily invested in video, so it's a wise move to move as much of your communication and content to video as soon as possible. With the launch of IGTV and most recently Instagram Reels, the platform has its eyes focused on video content. Essentially, they're going to push more traffic, more visibility, and better performance onto any users who's sharing video content. Don't miss out on this gold rush. Video communication is the present and definitely the future on Instagram. You must begin to grasp how to document everything that you do. Having lots of footage to cut up and share is a lot easier than trying to shoot something in one shot. Train yourself how to use the free editing tools and software that have flooded the app stores. I mean, you can use the equipments in your studio and set up a studio to record music. You can learn how to edit a video. Using Reels and IGTV can generate some crazy traffic right now, reaching more people than just posting an image. Running ads on Instagram is also one of the cheapest options of advertising, as it's owned by Facebook. Nothing beats the low cost. Not YouTube, Google, LinkedIn, nothing. Instagram are also rolling out monetization options, so content creators can soon make some money through ads that get played over IGTV videos, similar to how YouTube and Facebook operate. Also, they're introducing digital badges for Instagram Live, which enables viewers to give money to their favorite broadcasters. If you want to level up your Instagram strategy and start creating better content for your audience that will grow your profile as well, go ahead and register for my 5 weeks Instagram Masterclass for musicians that's starting on October 28th. Link in the caption. This is tried and tested and it has fantastic reviews. Check it out on the page. Next up is Facebook. The big dog of the social media world with over 2.7 billion active monthly users. Who says it's just parents and grandparents using Facebook? Facebook is where the new age we're living in started, where TV networks, newspapers, and advertisers have all had to change the way they operate. The music world has both benefited and lost out thanks to Facebook. Through building communities on Facebook, musicians are able to share their music, thoughts, lives, and processes to people they know and people they never met before. Okay, so I know we've had MySpace, Friendster, and all that other dead platforms before Facebook came out, but the difference is the global shift in media consumption that Facebook brought in. Recently though, I feel musicians are focusing mostly on Instagram because they're not getting much reach on Facebook. While this is true, as Facebook has almost completely killed off the organic reach, pushing users to use ads to gain visibility amongst even your own followers as well as prospective fans. People say the Facebook audience is getting older and older, but there's still over 76% of 18 to 24-year-olds there, 84% of 25 to 30-year-olds, 79% of 30 to 49-year-olds, and 68% of 50 to 64-year-olds. Just like Instagram, Facebook is going through some pretty drastic changes. They're also focusing on video sharing, and if you're uploading longer videos, you can get some decent views now. I mean, Facebook is going hard against TV and internet TV, so they're pushing video content. But you need to upload directly to Facebook rather than sharing a YouTube link. They are trying to keep the traffic on the platform for as long as possible, so videos hosted on Facebook keep people there longer. The most drastic changes that are happening are the community building efforts. Facebook groups are one of their main investments, and they're pushing the functionality by giving groups a lot more real estate on the platform. People love groups. They're very engaging places. And there's something for absolutely everyone. If there isn't something, it can easily be created. Musicians should strategically join groups that align with their brand, through their artist profile, of course, and start engaging in the groups. If people see a good post or a comment, they will naturally click through to look at your profile. The group function doesn't exist on Instagram or YouTube, so this is one of Facebook's strongest advantages. Engaging in groups is one of the best marketing strategies for a musician right now. You can both network and be visible to a very large audience that meets your niche or niches. The super high engagement rates that happen in these groups is something you should really take advantage of immediately. Another huge investment that Facebook is making is the Messenger section. This is really interesting because Instagram and Facebook are merging both their chat functionalities together to create a super messenger. There are 1.3 billion Messenger users globally, and it's expected to grow to over 2.4 billion users by 2021. That's a lot of messages exchanged every second. What's even more interesting is the next step in the integration process. WhatsApp is also owned by Facebook, and it's merging with the Super Messenger in the not so distant future. WhatsApp is considered a social media, and it has more daily active users than Instagram and Twitter. I'm gonna go more into WhatsApp on the next platform. As these three chatting giants come together, the future of community building will revolve around the use of this mega chat app. Musicians should really consider using chatting in your marketing strategies as it's personal, it's a one-to-one experience. Chatbots naturally are exploding in growth and availability as a result of the growing number of users. Huge brands as well as independent businesses are seeing the benefits of having a chatbot provide all the information a person needs, as well as capturing valuable data and pushing promotion, sales, or inquiries. Oh, and messenger marketing leads to 70% better open rates than email marketing. So now you see why it's booming. Next up is WhatsApp. Yes, WhatsApp is a social media. There are more than 2 billion WhatsApp users in over 180 countries. Over 2 billion minutes of voice and video calls are made on WhatsApp on a daily basis. Facebook acquired WhatsApp for $19 billion 6 years ago, and a massive 1 billion people use WhatsApp every day. As a musician, you should download WhatsApp for Business, which gives you a range of different options outside of the regular WhatsApp. By doing so, you're able to embed your WhatsApp for Business on your website, which offers a way to people to message you directly from the site. Text marketing is becoming a very useful tool to market your brand and products. So begin moving your communication over to chat and text in as many places as possible. Auto replies, bots, and lots of other great tools makes it a lot easier than sending messages one by one. I mean, just check out my chatbot on my website, where you can start a conversation with me, where I will help you with autoresponders, but also capture their information along the way. Sending out chat blasts or creating different groups where you share relevant content will become the new way of posting a status update on Facebook. A smart idea could be to create a product where you offer one opportunity to talk one-to-one with you through chat. There's going to be some really clever things coming out of the rise of text marketing. What are you going to do about it? As I mentioned before, chat marketing has a 70% higher open rate than email marketing. And with the integration of Messenger, Instagram Chat, and WhatsApp, the power of this will be astronomical. So for now, just create a WhatsApp for Business account as an artist and start getting people to chat with you and message your profile and of course collect their digits. Moving over to TikTok. TikTok has over 8 million monthly active users and has quickly become one of the big dogs of social medias. The main function of TikTok is users recording videos over music and creating dances that go viral beyond belief, amongst other things as well, of course. Now, these videos can really sum up some high viewing numbers, and each of those views have likely heard the sound that accompanies it. The best thing that could happen to a musician in 2020 is for a song to go viral. With TikTok, this is a reality that's not impossible to achieve. Even just collaborating with influencers and content creators on TikTok and getting them to use your music has the potential for your track to be heard by a lot of people. It doesn't have to go viral to be a success. Using TikTok as a user and connecting with your audience is easy if that's the kind of person that you are. Filming yourself dancing or doing something silly isn't everyone's cup of tea though. However, if it is yours, then the loyalty and the connection that you build up with your fans will be very valuable. Sharing TikTok videos across other platforms is very common as well, and it's another way to kill two birds in one stone. Encouraging your fans to do the same dance or challenge that you've done is an easy way to create some good user-generated content and potentially spark a new trend that sees a lot of users following. Even though the US is planning on banning TikTok or not, or we'll see, it's a great place to be if your audience are younger and spread across the world. Next up is Twitter. So Twitter is one of those platforms that you don't necessarily need to be on as a musician. But with over 300 million monthly active users in July of 2020, it's also not worth ignoring. Music producer Metro Boomin contacted every single music executive he found that was relevant to him on Twitter. By looking up the creds on Wikipedia, most of the senior music industry folks are still very active on Twitter. Label execs, A&Rs, music journalists, and other artists are still very engaged on the platform. This is very useful for musicians as you can easily get involved with the conversations that are already happening. Just provide some value, get people to know your name, and then you can approach them directly with a business inquiry. I mean, Kanye West isn't even on Instagram, but we all know his Twitter fingers won't stop. If you're good at making conversations, then Twitter is a great place for you to start making yourself known. The networking potential is really good if you know how to do it. Of course, share some strategic content on the platform as well. But the main focus of the platform is conversation. If you follow my Instagram, you will see I'm a huge fan of posting tweet quotes. I tweet something inspirational, educational, entertaining, and I screenshot it and then post it on Instagram. It usually gets very good reaction and you're sharing value in two places at the same time. Working smarter, not harder, right? So let's take Talib Kweli as an example. Although now he's had his account suspended. Well, a few years back, he had a show in Norway that he decided to cancel due to the venue booking an allegedly racist band. He didn't want to share the stage with a racist, and he was very vocal about it on Twitter. I had something to say on the matter, so I decided to tweet him, which immediately resulted in Talib Kweli retweeting it and following me. As a result of this, many other musicians began following me as well. If you're strategic in your networking and you have shit to say, use Twitter to expand your audience and get credibility from those who matter and grow your audience. And then you have Twitch. While Twitch is a newer platform, it still has over 7 million active monthly users as of July 2020. And like I've mentioned before, it's a platform that's more focused on niches than a broad range of users. Originally a platform for gamers to live stream their sessions, Twitch is fast becoming a favorite for musicians and many other industries to live stream to audiences. For musicians, if your audience typically enjoys gaming, then it's a perfect place to start making yourself known. Twitch for musicians has a wealth of benefits, from a generous amount of options for monetization to the ability to receive another user's audience in a transaction known as raid. With a strong, supportive community in place, it's not difficult to get involved with other users and become active amongst the online society. Because streamers tend to have music playing while they're in sessions, they're usually also on the lookout to collaborate with musicians to get new music to play while they're streaming. These people can have a huge amount of users at any given time, so the potential to reach new fans is amazing. So you don't only have to have your own profile and streams to get seen on Twitch. You can team up with other streamers to reach more people with your music as well. If you're joining the platform to game with other users or to showcase yourself making music, you need to go into it with the determination of conquering the live stream format. The best feature of Twitch, though, is the multiple monetization options that are available. From tipping to paid channel subscriptions, there's options that will suit most needs. However, if you're going into Twitch to build that community and monetize your content, you have to be very consistent. Going live a few times a week and engaging with other users' content is a must. Last but not least, Reddit. Reddit does such a fantastic job of creating the niches of niche subcategories that it's a million niche platforms under one massive channel. Reddit has a vast collection of forums where users submit content and up or down vote interactions from other users. What's interesting is the fact that there are no influencers and everybody has an equal chance of going viral with good content. Your visibility can explode with one post that grabs the attention of users pursuing the forum that you've posted in. Just like anywhere on the internet, you can't go in with all guns blazing without at least making yourself known through interaction with other users' content. So begin to hang out on the subreddits, that's the sub-forum topics, that you know your type of audience are communicating and get to know the community before you start promoting your music to them. Build a rapport first. As always, being authentic is the key factor for these platforms. You need to engage with real-life stories, content, and interactions with your fellow Redditors. So let's sum it up. Social media is here to stay, and its usage will continue to rise. So many industries are dependent on their social media to sell and promote their products. And for musicians, it's the new way of creating a fan club. Note down what your goals are, who your audience is, where they're from, what they like, who they listen to, and begin your research to find out where the best places are to put yourself in front of them. The goal is not to promote with every post you do, but to build a rapport with your audience and build a network of people that will follow your every move. Once that trust is established and you've given lots of value, then you can start promoting your products. Even collaborating with other artists, PRs, journalists, music industry heads, and just about anyone else that can help you further your career are all hanging out in these places as well. Just make sure that you're there with them. That's it for today, guys. There you have it. 8 social medias that musicians should be on in 2020 and 2021. If you like what you saw today, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell notification to get notified whenever I share a video every week.